Good morning. This is Morning Coffee. And today I want to talk about something. I want to piggyback on something that I heard last weekend because it's been staying in my mind. Actually, a couple of places I've been to last weekend, some of the messages that I've heard have stayed with me and have kept me reflecting, thinking, and have even provided for me a spiritual awakening as to how to continue to live life to the fullest and not live life as if it were my demise. So, one of the things that stayed with me is if I am an option or if I am a priority. That thing has been riding me because if I think about, you know, when I begin to think about me and what I mean to myself, I can easily begin to wander off the path that would this is emotional for me to discuss because when you do the work that needs to be done in your life, it is an overwhelming feeling that you no longer treat yourself like a second-class citizen, and you no longer allow other people to treat you like you're nothing. And you no longer have to run in circles to where you're trying to be approved by people. Because you've done the work and you realize that after all this time, I have been blaming other people for how they have treated me. And I have not been... Someone just walked by and said hi. I'm in dialysis. And I have not taken on the courageous role of looking at the part that I played. The part that I played where I became your second choice. Or the part that I played where I became your option. And so, when I think about being an option, I think about being irrelevant. I think about being unimportant. I think about not even being a choice, but being your get-off. Being that thing you need to have a thrill or an adventure or, and no offense, to get your nut. However way you want to term that. And I begin to think that being an option, for those of us who are options, it becomes comfortable. And it almost becomes a way of life because you begin to expect people to think less of you. Therefore, you become hostage to your own insanity. And it's crazy. So you stifle your own growth and development because somebody has considered you after the fact. Or somebody has considered you because you really don't bear any kind of name to them. Somebody has considered you when you wanted everyone to think of you as something. They really thought to themselves, I'm doing you a favor. Wow, that's the one that really gets you doing me a favor. But like, look at me. I'm on dialysis. I got this deformed arm. I'm a thin dude, got no big booty no more. And so I can remember times where I would hide my arm and I would go through this whole process of trying to present to you my representative, and so that I could fit whatever it is that you were looking for, and only came to find out that you only were trying to appease me because you felt pity for me and you were doing me a favor to be with me. That's an option. But I'm here to tell you, even in my family, in my home, on my job, I don't carry that spirit around anymore. In fact, sort of like an insect, you have to learn how to get the right repellent so that when people begin to put you and cast their emotional, neglecting, superficial darts, your spirit is able to repel that mess because you have no longer considered yourself, and that's where it starts. You've no longer considered yourself an option. You have become a priority. Oh yeah. And when you become a priority, you begin to understand the relevance of relationships. You begin to appreciate the people that have been there with you for years. The people whose back, the people who got your back, but who you turned your back on because you thought you had found the right one, and so you stopped calling them people. They became options because you thought that you were a priority, and all along you were just a fantasy, and a bad one at that. So being a priority is extremely important. Being a priority means that you begin to take care of self. I am not ashamed of the deformed arm. I absolutely need dialysis to continue to improve the quality of life that I'm living. If I don't come here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I die. It is important that I shift my perspective. See, this is miracle talking now. From being someone's option, or caring about what they think, about how thin I am. I don't give two pennies cracked together about what they think at this point, because I have become a priority, which means that my health, my relationships with people that, friends that I've had for over 30 years, my family, these become priorities to me. Used to be a time where I would make my family an option. I'd go visit this one and that one and fly across the country, wouldn't even go home to see my mama. I don't do that now. Because I realize that relationship feeds my spirit in a way that keeps me moving. So when I'm thinking about being a priority, like if I get into it, with my partner and things ain't going right, I come home and there are 2 cards sitting on the table letting me know that I'm that important to where whatever I had to say, I tell you, it's awesome. Being a priority and not an option. Or when I'm having a conversation with someone today, it's not that they're hogging all the time in the conversation, that because they also realize that I'm also human, and that my ears can only bear so much, and they absolutely want to hear about what I'm feeling and how I'm doing. I've become a priority. When I get those flowers, or I get a card, or I get someone even takes the time to recognize that, hey, this dude seems to be drinking Dunkin' Donuts a lot, coffee, and they get me a $15 gift card from Dunkin' Donuts because they thought, that would make me happy, and it does, because I've become a priority. When I become a priority, the people who come into my life begin to treat me as such because I treat them as such. So listen, this is Morning Coffee. And I'm coming to you and I'm letting you know straight up, you are nobody's option, baby. You are a priority. You have been created by a loving and caring God that has put you in this universe to complete your assignment. And it's not to have your heart walked over like it's some rug